Hey, and welcome back to another gear show. I'm Mike. This is another gear show. Today we're going to be talking about the everyday carry, or in my case, the everyday carry / get home bag. We're going to start off with just a couple of quick notes as to what a get home bag is. Then we're going to break down some of the components that I keep in it, a little bit of philosophy of use kind of thing. And then if you stay tuned to the very end, there's a super snazzy special announcement. So let's get into it. What is the everyday carry bag? Well, in this case, it's a backpack for me, and what it is it's a bag that's got kit that's designed to supplement my on-body everyday carry, larger things that I don't normally need immediate access to, but want to have like first-hand access to. Rain gear, if I need my laptop for something, things like that. Now, I also combine it with a get home bag because to me it seems a little silly to divide the two. And what I've done is I've basically just built this out as these are the things I need for everyday carry. These are the things that I need or would want for a get home bag. To that end, EDC GHB. The bag itself is a 511 Covrt 18, I want to say. Yeah, sure. It's right there. I got this because it's low profile. It doesn't look particularly tactical. It can hold a reasonable amount without being too obtrusive. And don't take what it looks like right now as an indication because it's just crammed full of stuff for bulk, so you can kind of get an idea of the size of it. It's a backpack. You know, it's nothing particularly snazzy, but it's a backpack, and that's what you need generally. I don't like the messenger bag style. I don't. It's probably because I'm a bit softer into metal. So, as I said, an everyday carry bag. The idea is things that you need that are larger than what you would just carry on your person. You know, if it's getting cold out, you know, getting fall, autumn, whatever, and you need a sweater, it's nice during the day, but the evening, yeah, throw your sweater in there. If you need a tablet or if you need books for work or something like that. Don't think of this really as a survival bag or anything like that. It is essentially just a giant extra pocket, which brings me to a slightly different point. People are going to disagree with me on this, and that's fine. You don't have to fill the bag. Get a bag that works for you, but you don't have to fill it with stuff. It does not need to be full of stuff. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive into some of the stuff that I keep in here. We're going to go over this pretty quick. Not really delving into specifics. This is going to be just a general overview, and the reason is I'm going to be starting component level reviews starting next week. You may have noticed I don't have a bug out bag. That's because I'm still building it. So we're going to work back to front because it's nice and easy, starting with these two little flat guys right here. Cotton bandana and a buff. Sometimes you just need, cover your face. It may be a natural disaster or something, or it's just hot and sweaty and you want to put a rag on your head and not drip sweat everywhere. Okay. The next pouch is this guy right here. I really don't keep anything in here specifically, but optional get home items could be Chem Light, medical supplies, in this case a styptic pencil for like if you cut yourself up. You can also keep plastic handcuff key. I keep a leash in here. This is actually from Cetacea Tactical. It's just a pistol leash, but you can use it to clip on keys or whatever miscellaneous you may just want to have tethered to you. Additionally, there is a solace patch in here for reflective identification, and this is from Short Action Precision. It is designed as a 2-round sticky attachment for your bolt gun. but as I don't have a bolt gun, I use it for pens. Don't hate me, short action tactical. Okay, moving up, there's this wee little admin pocket here, which I apparently have stripped bare. But the things that would go in here would be things like a spork, a notepad and pen, maybe a tiny boo-boo kit. And let me get to the notepad and pen thing real quick. This is, as I said, part of my Get Home bag as well. And the Get Home bag is basically things that you would want to have to help you easily get home. You want it to be light, efficient, preferably multi-purpose if you can swing it. If you can't, yeah, so be it. But depending on the type of emergency it is, if it's a personal emergency, you're going to want to take note of things. Oh, my truck broke down. Where did it break down? What happened? You know, what time did I leave? All of that stuff. If it's a natural disaster or if it's a more macro level event, earthquake, fire, flood, inclement weather, hurricane, tornado, what have you, communication may be down. So any information you can gather, you know, which way were fire trucks and emergency responders going, who were any police or EMT or emergency management personnel you may have interacted with. Information is going to be key in situations like that. Information is always important. But if you get home and there's no power and no media access, people are going to be like, what happened? Well, I don't know what happened, but at this time I did see 7 fire trucks going northbound on this road, followed by an emergency management truck and blah, blah, blah. Any little bit you can get helps. So, again, quickly accessible things like that. This bag also has a pass-through pocket that zips up instead of down. And this is where, if you would want to carry like a concealed pistol or anything like that, that's where you would tuck that. I do not have a concealed carry for Georgia, so I don't carry a pistol in there. Okay, big pocket. One of the things that I generally carry, apart from the buff, is a different type of hat. Generally I wear these hats, but they are closed fabric all the way around. Something like a trucker style hat where it's a little bit lighter. You know, maybe just, you know, oh, he was wearing a black hat and you're trying to avoid somebody. Well, now he's wearing a brown hat, you know, whatever. It's up to you. If you want to keep a sun hat or a boonie hat, whatever. Depending on where you're at, it may be worth it for you to carry a hat with a local sports team on it. Anything to help you either blend in or move more efficiently, and I'll do a whole thing on that kind of gray man social engineering. Okay, back to this. Front flap has got 2 pouches here. Top one I keep kind of think more emergency supplies. In this case, water purification tablets, dehydrated towel, some chicken broth, a Silcock key. This will help you get water from the locked off mains that are on buildings and urban environments. Another tiny little boo-boo kit. This has got like not triple antibiotic, the other stuff, antiseptic wipe stuff, and a couple of band-aids in it. I also carry this now. This is something I got recently. It's a hero clip, and a hero clip is basically just a positionable carabiner that you can hook your bag to. This is an example of a bag. Hook it on a bathroom door, or, you know, on a fence or something where you may not be able to hook your stuff up. These are incredibly useful. I highly recommend. This is going to be one of those things that's going to end up going like 1 in each bag of mine. Okay, this next pocket's a little bit bigger. Now we're going to start getting into the variety, the spice of life. This pocket I generally carry hygiene type stuff. And it could be anything from basically a shit kit, one of the little camping ones, or they have more urban ones. If you're a little more just practicality, wet ones. If you're a little more specific functionality, the flushable, non-flushable wipes. A larger boo-boo kit. This one has got stuff for walking in it, including like kind of nail care stuff. If you have to walk, 20, 30, 50 miles to get home, you're going to want to be able to take care of your toes. It also has like moleskin in it. And then the other thing I keep in here, you get these from survivalresources.com. It is a 72-hour Bug Out Hygiene Kit, and in here there's compressed towel, toothpaste, soap, Q-tips, cotton bud things. So this is the variety of stuff that you could put in here. You don't necessarily have to use any one of those things, but any of them would be helpful to you, in my opinion. And again, remember that this is a kind of a personal thing. If you only live 5 miles from home, you probably don't need a ton of stuff. If you're like me, you travel for work, you probably need more stuff. Main body. Also, don't forget, like I did my my work kit videos already. A lot of that stuff can be transitioned from work kit to in here to flesh this out. So don't be afraid to mix and match, or if you are fortunate enough to be in a financial position where you can have redundancies and replications, go that route. But things like your secret squirrel pouch, another notepad, sunglasses, things like that could be useful. I'm going to touch on another optional thing. As I said, information gathering is very important. To that end, in this little Maxpedition pouch, I basically have my junior journalism kit, and it's basically a hand-holding rig, a a dead cat, and a Rode Videomic Me, that can all hook up to my phone and turn it into an information gathering tool. Not exactly subtle, but it's better than nothing. Speaking of phones, one of the things I also recommend, you've seen this before, and it's not in there, it's right here, a backup phone. Whether it's the dumbest candy bar style phone you can find or a flip phone, have a backup phone that's got a charged battery that is not inside of it. Make sure it's loaded up with, it could be an 8 gig card with, in case of emergency, contact info, pictures of maps, things like that. Make sure you have redundancies where you can spare them. Getting back to information gathering, there may not be complete blackout of information if you have one of these, BaoFeng UV-5R. It's a handheld, technically ham radio. I say technically because it's about as powerful as... Think of this as the Fisher-Price My First Walkie-Talkie. In an emergency, if you are not ham certified, you can transmit, but personal emergencies don't count. But you can passively listen. It's really crappy reception. To things like unrestricted police, fire bans, as well as weather radio, so you can kind of keep track of that. It takes a lot for those systems to go down. Now, brief diversion from the things to the consumables. That's tomatoes. Not that. Things like Spam, or if you're really hungry, a ham. Boom. Or if you're not, deviled ham, or potted meat. I don't actually know what this is, but that's okay because this generally doesn't live in my bag. I honestly don't even know where I picked this up at. Probably the same place I got the tomatoes. These three I would be more inclined to eat. You don't need a whole meal, a field stripped MRE, some candy bars and beef jerky, just something to get you through a day or two. You're going to be hangry, but you're going to be alive, okay? I generally also carry some sunscreen because I'm a pasty European guy, and if I'm out in the sun, I end up looking like Zoidberg. Now, chappy. Always have your chappy. One option, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to, is 511 Tactical also sells Molly panels that you can hook things to that literally just drop in. Boom, there it is. It's up to you. This is a lot of weight, though. And it's not just because I've got a radio, a cigar, and a smoke grenade. Speaking of that, there's nothing wrong with having morale items. You know, something like a cigar or a pack of cigarettes or, you know, chewing gum or whatever. Additionally, something to evade, something to signal with. I recommend, the company is called Enola Gaye. It's from enolagaye.com, cannot read, E-N-O-L-A-G. It's in the description. Smoke grenades. I recommend getting a smoke grenade of a non-natural color. And the reason is people see white smoke, black smoke, gray smoke, whatever. They're like, oh, it's fire. Okay, moving on. People see blue smoke, red smoke, yellow smoke, orange, whatever. They're going to be like, what the hell is that? And they may investigate. So signaling or obfuscation or just basic evasion, whatever. Okay, so as a get-home bag, you need to have preloaded intel, you know, depending on where you live versus where you need to get to. To that end, I highly recommend a good map. You can either waterproof a map like this, having it in a Ziploc bag, or you can get some clear packing tape and do basically super cheapy lamination, or go to like a FedEx. They still have Kinko's? I think it's just FedEx now. FedEx office thing. You can find places, go to Staples, get it laminated, whatever, or you can actually order waterproof maps from places like MyTopo and things like that. But have paper maps. Last couple of things that I keep in here, or not in here. One quick thing about this bag, and I'll show you. Imagine this is not in there. With all of this stuff, just real quick, there's not a lot in here. I've still got plenty of room. Oh, well, then you don't need a bag that big. No, I do, because I may pick up stuff along the way. And if I don't, it's no skin off my ass. Well, if you have a big bag, then you're going to put stuff in it. Maybe. Or I'm going to have the discipline to not put stuff in it. This bag has a floppy bottom. There's no reinforcement to it. To that end, I cut out a piece of like one of these little workout mats. And it lives in there. When there's nothing in the bag, it just lays up against the back. So it collapses down pretty flat. There are compression leads there. There's a fleece line for sunglasses or binoculars or cell phone. Okay, one last thing, there is... Ooh, I'm bouncing all over the place. One last thing, there is a pocket in the back here, designed for a laptop. I don't have it in there right now, because I don't know where I put it, because I did B-roll last night. I just keep a chunk of 550 cord in there, about 50 feet. So, that's that. And then finally, the back here opens up. There is a rigid plastic. But what I keep in here, everybody's favorite, my Snug Pack poncho, because it's pretty flat, and just a nylon tarp. And I got this out of a Stanford Outdoor Supply Bug Out Bug Out Stanford B.O.S.S shelter kit. Well, link, description, yeah. And the reason these are in here is because they lay flat, and it puts the weight of these things against my back. Now, you can also keep your maps in here, so they're out of the way. They're not anything that you're really worried about doing. But remember, the EDC bag is to carry bigger stuff than you would normally carry on your person. The Get Home bag is to make it easier for you to get home. I don't see a reason to not combine the two. Even when I'm working 50 miles from home, the things that I have in there will easily make my trip tolerable. You don't need to go nuts. It's a get home bag, not a bug out bag. It's meant to get you home, not let you survive in the elements for 3 weeks. But to that end, get yourself a bag that works, that doesn't shed. If you can only afford a JanSport, get a JanSport. They've got a really good warranty. This bag was like $120, 100 and a quarter, something like that. But this works for me for now. It'll probably change as I alter and develop. Get what you can with what you've got. If you have the money to get good stuff, because good gear isn't cheap. Cheap gear isn't good. Yes, there are people out on the internet that say, "Oh yeah, my Condor plate carrier has lasted me 5 years." Okay, well, no offense, but it looks like it just came off the rack in your video. I don't know if you standing there doing nothing with it is indicative of how good it is. I've worn this bag. I've beaten this bag up. The bottom is stained and is starting to pill a little bit. I've used this bag. I did forget something. Water containers. Whether you use something like a vapor bottle or you use a Nalgene bottle does fit in there. Boom. So make sure you have stuff to get you home. This bag is ultimately to make your life easier. Not perfect, but it's to make your life easier. And that's the point of this series, is try to get you to be more aware of everything that's going on with your situations, trying to make your life better in that if there is an emergency, if there's a problem, whether it's on a micro scale, a personal emergency of, my vehicle just broke down, or it's a macro emergency of, oh my God, Atlanta just sank into the ocean. There's a Futurama episode about that.
Could it possibly be? Are the old legends true? Wow! It is! It's the fabled lost city of Atlanta!
Howdy, y'all!
Anyway, the idea is to make your life better. And that's what you should be striving for. You should always be striving to make your life better, even if it's incrementally. So again, sorry this has been so fast, but as I said, I'm going to start doing component level reviews next. After the what's it, it's announcement time. So you know the drill. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to tickle that bell if you want to get notifications when I occasionally upload this. Yeah, send questions, send hate mail, send good vibes, bad vibes, good cat juju, smiling ferrets, whatever. Just try to be better than you were yesterday. Well, here we are, the moment that nobody's been waiting for. That moment when a box full of unused gear finally gets used. One of my side projects, well, I say side projects, one of the things that I've wanted to do for a while is create my own radio drama. And to that end, I'm dusting off this equipment, learning how to use some tools and some software, and I'm going to be producing a radio drama. The hope is that it's just something that's going to broaden my horizons and just give me a little bit of personal fulfillment. So stay tuned as I, probably not any time in the immediate future, put together a promo, but I will be taking you with me as I go through this journey of going from a single microphone and a laptop to hopefully a fully realized audio drama. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. And this is me trying to be better than I was yesterday.